turned all the lights off. I've just got my lamp. You can sort of see the light coming from that. And now I'm just taking out a roll of photosensitive paper, I should say. Now what I'm doing is, because it's quite a large sheet, I'm just going to cut it to the size, because I'm not going to need it all. So I'm only going to need that section there, and then just cut it through like so, and then I'm just going to fold the rest back up and put it back in there and save it, making sure I've covered it up properly. You want to protect that, it's expensive stuff. Okay, so you sort of have to work fairly quickly. Now, I'm just bringing in a board to work on. I'm putting my glass sheet down next. Then I'm putting my overhead projection image down on top of that. And now this photograph, this light sensitive paper has a film, a plastic film on it, and you'll want to remove that plastic film. So I'm pulling it off and shiny side facing down on the artwork like so, and then I'm putting the felt board on the top like so. Okay, so now it is ready to expose. So I'm turning the whole thing over like so, and then I'm going to bring up the light, my light source, and then I'm going to take it off and make sure that it's lined up like so. And now I'm to expose it for 25 minutes. So I'll just set my alarm and let it do its magic. And I'll come back in 25 minutes. Okay, so I'm just putting it in a bath of water, and now you just have to let it soak for 15 minutes, and then you'll begin to see a ghost image of it, and it's actually starting to come now. You can sort of see an image. If I can show you, you can see the image. As you can see, the image is starting to come through. So I soak that for 15 minutes, and then what I'll do is I'll just start to wash it off, and we'll see how we go. Okie dokie. So I'm just using a brush, and I'm just brushing over it, and it should be soft enough to start to release, to clean the stencil. And as you can see, it's starting to come off. So I'm just going to let the water out now, and then I'm going to put the hose on it, the tap. Okay, it looks like it is done, like a dinner. And then I'll just pop it up to check. And as you can see, look at all the patterns and designs. Turned out pretty good. There's a couple of little bits here where I've maybe rubbed too hard. You have to be careful when you're rubbing it all off that you stop, otherwise you'll just keep rubbing it off. But I think I'm going to stop now because I quite like that, how it is. So you dry it flat, you put it onto a flat surface, then you let it dry. And there you go. To help dry it off as well, you can just take some paper towel and just lightly press over it. Take off the excess water. And then what you have to do is you have to put it back under the light source and let it set, because now you have to set the actual fabric so it goes hard, and then you just put it back under the light, and that'll do it. So as you can see, I put the light source back on top now, and I'm just leaving this now, and that's going to set it. Make sure that the sticky side's up. But not too bad. It came out pretty good, except for this area, like these little areas here where I rubbed it off too much. But I quite like that look. I don't like to have a really sharp, crystal clear line, but if you do, you know, you just have to be a bit more careful when you're rubbing it back. So next we're going to look at creating a print from it. Okay, so I'm going to print on a part of this artwork. So I'm just putting the stencil, the shiny side down, and I'm just going to put it randomly. I'm sort of not particularly caring exactly where I put it. And then I'm just going to take some white paint and just put it and I don't know how I'm going to drag this, because I'm just going to drag it around. Then I'm just going to use the edge of this because it's quite nice. And then I'm going to put it on a 45-degree angle and drag it. Like so. Yeah, that didn't turn out too bad actually. Not too bad for a first attempt. I might quickly just try and use up the rest of this. Much better. Okay, so for the next one I'm just going to do like a two-toned effect, and so I've just mixed magenta and Prussian blue together. Right, oh, they're a bit hard, but I'm just loading it up like so, and then putting my screen shiny side down again, once again, like so, putting it on a 45-degree angle and dragging it through, and then you're getting like hints of it, which is quite nice. Yeah, so you're getting those nice hints. Alright, so let's just talk about the end product. So the important thing to do is, when you're printing, always print the shiny surface down. Wash your stencils out straight away if you're using acrylic paint, because they dry and you'll ruin the stencil a lot quicker. Store it in a folder or in somewhere flat. You don't want to crease it and crinkle it. Something to think about when you finish with the stencil, if it's become so ruined that you don't really get really nice interesting shapes. What I thought is you could actually glue it down onto a canvas with a bunch of other ones as you collect them. So you can sort of create a collage of screen prints and then paint over the top of them, and actually make an artwork out of them. So they will come in handy, so don't throw them away. Alright, so I have quite a few experimental pieces, because it's like everything takes trial and error. You learn with each process. This one I applied too much ink. As you can see, it filled in all the details here, but I actually really like that anyway. I like how there's bits and pieces broken, darks and lights, and not everything's perfect. So for me, that's a success. This one was, I guess, more of a success, but I actually tried a different technique. Instead of sliding my scraper along, I got a paintbrush and dabbled it, like I stippled it over the stencil, and then it sort of created this effect, which is nice as well. This one was a better version of the normal way of scraping it through. A lot less paint, and you got a lot more detail, as you can see. This one was blending two colors, and once again, that's a really nice effect to blend different colored paints together. This one was just using white and then rubbing it back. This one was using white over the top of that color. Didn't particularly like that one, but you get that. It's just another layer. Yep, this one, quite happy with the texture of this. Now these are all good underpaintings to put more interesting stuff over. And that's what I'm going to talk about in a second. And this one turned out pretty good. I quite like it. So that's that. Great product. Give it a go. And just experiment and have fun. And I'd love to see what you come up with. Crash! There goes a sardine tin. Alright, so tonight I also carved out a new stencil. A new nun stencil. It's much more, I guess, graphic in nature. But I quite like it. The old stencil that I had was this one. It's a lot more faded. It's also really beautiful and delicate, and that's what I liked about this stencil. So there is, I still love it. But this one has a lot more of a graphic nature, as you can see, and it's a bit more hard-edged. So, yeah, I'm going to play around with this. And I thought about I could actually like screen print sections with some Gothic print, and I thought that could be quite nice as well. But that's where I am, and that's what I'm doing, and I hope you got something from that. I hope you are inspired to try something new and different, and I wish you all the best of luck, and I'll talk to you soon. Later.